demonstrated an extraordinary hostility to the rights and liberties precious in this country that make this nation great.
He is the most unpopular Supreme Court nominee in the last 40 years.
In a moral moment, there is no bystanders. You are either complicit in the evil, you are either contributing to the wrong, or you are fighting against it.
Very understated, as always, from Cory Booker. And then think about all of the baseless smears their media brethren, can I say brethren? You have to say brethren and sisters. Sorry. Brethren and sisters engaged in following that. Like, despite her call for anonymity, the Democrats leaked Christine Blasey Ford's name. Now, the media didn't just discover Ford's whereabouts by accident, forcing her into the open, okay? That was the plan from the beginning. Then, in the form of a Ronan Farrow and Jane Mayer piece, we were expecting big things from that, they proffered another pathetically sourced, non-corroborated account. This one alleging that Kavanaugh exposed himself at a college party, even though the alleged victim herself is not sure that Kavanaugh was actually the one who exposed himself. But that didn't stop Chris Cuomo and Rachel Maddow from hosting the man peddling this tale, porn lawyer Michael Avenatti, with this absurd claim of Kavanaugh and a gang rape crew stalking the D.C. suburbs. Then, of course, the night before yesterday's testimony, NBC trumpeted this breaking news. A fourth accuser, an anonymous person who sent a letter to a senator's office with no address, no names, nothing. So, where is the Kavanaugh saga headed next? What the Democrats, with the help of Jeff Flake, have really done is allowed for another week of smears, something Lindsey Graham addressed this morning.
The Avenatti moment tells you what's going to happen if we keep this farce going. This has never been about the truth. This has been about delay and destruction.
Joining me now for reaction is Fox News contributor and former Trump deputy campaign manager Dave Bossie, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Joel Rubin, and former Chief Nominations Counsel to the Senate Judiciary Committee Greg Nunziata. Dave Bossie, Jeff Flake, and we're going to get into the meat of this part of it later on, but Jeff Flake was accosted by a liberal smear storm in the form of people who said they were sexually accused. But they wanted to surround him in the Senate today, and they did. Somehow security doesn't even exist in the U.S. Senate anymore. People just swarm around people and stopped him in an elevator, and the man looked like, you know, he couldn't stand the heat. After that, he walks back into the Senate after just having written a letter saying he supported the judge's nomination. And he comes up with a new thing, a new little idea of a week delay.
It looks and it feels like he got bullied by some of these protesters, but also the Senate Democrats bullied him. You could see those behind the scenes pictures of him being accosted by those Senate Democrats. It's a shame. His decision has allowed Brett Kavanaugh and his family to be terrorized again for the next week. And it's really it's counterproductive to our country, to the Supreme Court, and to the process. But it really is, it creates this, they've thrown the rule book out the window, the Democrats, and I think they're going to pay dearly for that in the long run.
Joel, this is what Flake said today as he was making his very historic pronouncement.
This country's being ripped apart here, and we've got to make sure that we do due diligence. I think this committee has done a good job, but I do think that we can have a short pause and make sure that the FBI can investigate.
But will it be narrow in scope? Let's listen.
I think it would be proper to delay the floor vote for up to, but not more than 1 week, in order to let the FBI continue to do an investigation limited in time and scope.
Joel, already within moments, after pushing him into doing this, Coons comes out of the Senate room and says, Oh, no, 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 no. There are going to be other accusations. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing. We can't just limit this. So this was a big ruse. It's not about Dr. Ford. This is about digging up new dirt or doing whatever it is they do over there to get people to come forward 36 years later.
Well, Laura, I have confidence in the FBI and in their ability to do background investigations. And clearly the votes weren't there at this time for the judge. So there needs to be an investigation into the charges from Dr. Ford. She was a credible witness. Chairman Grassley said so. And with credibility comes responsibility. So let's see what the FBI comes up with. There are senators who are all going to have different views of what they need to be looking at. At the end of the day, this could be good for the Republicans if they get this.
Is that the goal of the Democrats to help the Republicans here? Is that is that really where we are? That they're trying to help the Republicans? I'm sorry, but I thought Jeff Flake sounded like an out-of-touch narcissist today with these comments. Like, I'm Mr. Smith goes to Washington. I'm going to save the whole process. The process was polluted by an uncorroborated allegation being used to smear a man who's been in public life for almost 3 decades. So, Jeff Flake, sorry, you're a little late for that one. Mark, I want to go to you on this. Now, this, to me, this was really the moment where we heard from Deborah Katz's lawyer when she came forward, and I thought, oh, she's going to be excited about this. Instead, she said, oh, no, no, for the accuser's lawyer, Deborah Katz. Oh, no, 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 we can't limit this. That's an arbitrary deadline, a week. And we need to hear from all the accusers. So this whole thing about it's about Dr. Ford, is it about Dr. Ford?
Well, I think her lawyers have acted like they're more interested in the Democratic agenda of delaying and obstructing this process than they have been in getting her story out. I mean, we heard all these stories about how she was afraid to fly, et cetera, and pushed this off for several days. So it doesn't appear to be that her attorneys are working in her best interest.
Well, Dave, when you really think about how this has progressed, from Kavanaugh being nominated to meetings from Democrat operatives about how they can stop this, how they can force this into a last-minute panic, all the way up to the midterms, and then roll it forward until the time has run out. This has been a strategy from the very beginning. My question to you, as someone who's a conservative activist, and you know this town probably better than most people, have the Republicans been outmaneuvered, outperformed, and out